Hey y'all, it is Crochet Cassie and welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today I am excited because I'm finally teaching you how to make the infamous winter hood. If you follow me on Instagram, then you know how popular this hood is. It's simple, it's practical, it's easy, and it's great to wear in the cold. So let's get started. You will need a 5.5mm hook and a 10mm hook for part 2 if you're going to follow along. I am making a kid size hood in this video for ages 4 to 7. Feel free to adjust the measurements. This hood is made to measure, so it's very simple if you want to make it a little larger or a little smaller. Right, let's get started. We're going to be making a kid size for this hood, like I mentioned earlier. So first things first, grab your 5.5mm hook, grab your yarn, and we're going to start with a slip knot. The first part is going to be the neck portion of the hood. The chain we are making controls how much of the neck and the lower face the hood will cover. So think of this chain as the width of the opening. It determines how high the hood comes up on your face and how much coverage there will be going around the neck. All right, so we're going to start by working on the neck portion of the hood. And since this is a kid's size, I'm going to begin by chaining about 16 chains. Now, this number doesn't have to be exact. What really matters is that the chain fits comfortably across the width of the neck. So if you need to adjust, if you want to make it larger or smaller, just add or subtract a few chains. And that's totally up to you. So once you're happy with the width, I want you to go ahead and chain 1, and then we're going to single crochet into the second chain from the hook. From there, just continue doing 1 single crochet into each chain all the way down until you reach the end. So from here on out, this part is really repetitive and super simple. You can absolutely sit with me and watch me crochet this row in real time. Or if you're feeling super confident, skip ahead to the timestamp, which is 3 minutes. We're at 3 minutes now, and we've reached the end of the row. From here, we are going to chain 1, turn our work, and now this next part is what gives the hood a really clean, polished edge, so pay attention here. We're going to start by doing a single crochet into the first stitch, making sure to go through both loops. Then for the stitches in between, we're going to single crochet in the back loop only, all the way down the row until the last stitch. When you get to the very last stitch, you'll stitch back and do a single crochet through both loops again. So just to recap, first stitch is a single crochet in both loops. Middle stitches is a single crochet in the back loop only. Last stitch is a single crochet in both loops again. This little detail really helps keep the edges looking neat and structured. You're going to repeat this row, the same exact pattern, until the neck portion of the hood reaches the size you want. Just keep going until it feels right for your hood and the fit you're aiming for. Once you're happy with the length, we'll move on to the next step. From here, you can watch me crochet this row in real time if you want to see exactly what it looks like, or feel free to skip ahead if you're comfortable and ready to move on. If you are watching along, this is the last stitch in the row, and as you can see, I am making a single crochet in both loops. Once you've done that, you're going to chain 1, and then you're going to turn your work, and you're going to repeat the steps again. I'm going to repeat a couple of rows on camera. And again, if you feel confident to skip ahead, please do so. And I will explain how many rows you should do and the sizing for the rows. All right, so we're making a kid size hood in this tutorial, as mentioned. Here is the first hood that I made. And going in the back loop only gives it a really good stretch. And that's why I like to use that technique in this pattern. And the width of the neck portion is about 5 inches on the hood I originally made, and the one I just finished is also right around 5 inches. So that seems to be our consistent base measurement. From there, you'll continue working rows up until a total length reaches anywhere between 18 to 20 inches, depending on the size you're going for and how roomy you want the hood to feel around the neck. For an adult size, add on some more inches. You can use your own neck to feel what feels good. Some people prefer a wide neck and others prefer a more snug neck. It's really up to the person. Okay, so I just wanted to show you an update. We're about halfway there. That's 9 inches long. And yeah, so I'm going to continue making my rows. I hope yours are going well. If you have questions, drop them in the comments. Okay, so we are done the neck portion. It is about 20 inches, and I think that is perfect. Okay, so once you're done, you're going to get both ends and sew them together by slip stitching down the row. You can go ahead and watch me do that, or you can skip ahead to part 2. Now we're going to do part 2, which is the actual hood. So I like to make the seam where we sewed it up, the back, and to make it perfect, you count all the stitches, you count all the rows and divide it by 2 and start somewhere in the middle. Or you can kind of just hold it up and use your intuition to flow. So right here is where I'm gonna start. And I will let you know how to do that. Just 1 second. Okay, so let's get started. I am using an 8mm hook and I am going to attach the yarn. I explained earlier that I'm using Flow and Intuition at the halfway point, and I'm using that as my marker. And then I am going to attach the yarn right over here, just like so. And how I attach the yarn is I pull it through a stitch and then tie a very tight knot at the top. I stick my crochet hook through, pull through the yarn, and then create a single crochet. And we're going to be making single crochets all the way until the end. And these are not stitches, so you're just going to use your intuition to create stitches all along. Just find a space for your hook to fit in and just create the single crochet. Flow with it, don't overthink it. And we're gonna leave a tiny space right at the front for the opening, and that is where your head will go. And I will show you that, but first let me finish this first row of single crochets, and I will be right back once that's done. I am not done yet, but I am reaching where I sewed the neck portion together, and there are some extra strands of yarn, and I just wanted to show you a trick on how to single crochet over them so that you don't have to hide the strings later. That's actually the part I dread the most when it comes to finishing a project, is hiding those yarn strings. So here is a little trick that I like to use, and you really just single crochet as you hold the yarn strings and single crochet over them so that they are hidden underneath your single crochets. It is so simple and it can be used with so many different projects. It just saves you a lot of time from having to go back later and hiding them. Okay, so I made it all around with my single crochets. These are my last 2 single crochets, and that is the space that I was referring to earlier. So we are going to leave that spot empty. You are going to now chain 1, turn your work, and now we're going to start with half double crochets. So we're going to do a half double crochets directly into that first stitch. And for the first row, we are going to go into both loops all the way around. So we're going to half double crochet normally as we would into every single stitch all the way around. And I'm going to show you a couple of stitches for my visual learners. Okay, so here we are at the end. You're going to do your last half double crochet. You're going to chain 1, turn your work, and again you're going to do a half double crochet into that first stitch, both loops, and then for the rest of the stitches until the last stitch you're going to be doing a half double crochet into the back loop only, all the way until the last stitch, where you do a normal half double crochet into both loops. Now you're going to continue following that same pattern until you reach a size of the hood that you like. Again, I like made to measure patterns, so I'm not going to give you a number of rows, but you should make enough rows to reach about 12 inches. I'm going to continue on making the rows for my hood. You can watch along and crochet with me, or you can skip ahead. It's really up to you. Okay, so I'm on the last row and I'm just gonna measure. So we're at about 10 inches. The other hood is about 12 inches. 10 inches will work, even 11 or 12. So I'm going to finish off the last row. And then we're gonna do one more row of single crochets all the way around just to finish it off. Chain one, turn your work, and you're going to single crochet into every stitch in both loops. Okay, so I'll meet you when we get to the end. Okay, so I have my last 4 stitches in the last row of the hood until we sew the tops together. Second last, and here it goes. So you're gonna chain 1, then we are gonna make sure that we are on the correct side. So this is the side where we sewed the neck part of the hood together, and it's on this side. So that means when we put it in, the clean side will be on the inside and the seam will be on the outside, which you don't see because of the hood now. So with that said, I am going to turn this inside out so that the seam is on this side where we sewed the neck part together. And now we are going to slip stitch all the way down the top of the hood. And that will complete your hood. After that, you hide in the excess yarn and your hood will be complete. One more. Then I like to just do one extra one to make sure it is nice and sewn together. Chain one, and you're going, oopsie, to cut off the yarn, pull through, tighten that, and we're done. The hood is finished. You're going to turn it inside out. Here we go. Here's how it looks on the side. And then you put the neck warmer part through, and it should look. Here is and here's the hood. It's completed. Thank you so much for crafting along with me. If this was helpful, don't forget to give it a thumbs up and subscribe for more cozy creative tutorials. I'll see you at the next one.
Like and subscribe to my channel.